Good afternoon, guys. Welcome along to Wayjay Vanventures. We are here in the beautiful Devon countryside, just outside Exeter. We've met up with Dave and Tarryn and their lovely 2004 Toyota Alphard rear conversion van. Afternoon, guys. Thank you for talking with us.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Just a few questions. What made you pick a Toyota Alphard?
Oh, it was random, I've got to be honest. So I've wanted a motorhome my whole life. I was looking for motorhomes and it came up on my feed randomly on Facebook. And it was this tiny van with tiny table, tiny bed, and I thought, no, that's not for me. But it was in Emsworth, so it was only like 10 minutes down the road.
Were you specifically looking for like a
No.
big camper van? No, just
Yeah,
come up
I
on...
was looking for a big motorhome really,
Yep.
or a big camper van,
Yep.
like you say. But this was tiny, and I thought I ruled it out straight away. But something was eating away at me, and I thought, do you know what? I just need to see it to rule it out, to be sure. And the lady that sold it to me, she was a really good sales lady. So she made me a cup of tea. She said,
Sat you in the van.
inside. So I sat inside. She had the table out and everything, and I just fell in love with it straight away. And you know when you get a house and you go into a house, you move in a house, you walk into that house and you just think, yeah, this is my house.
And that's what happened
exactly
with it.
how I felt. Yeah.
So how long have you had it now?
About 3 years now.
And you've done some you've done a few trips in it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Whereabouts have you been? What's been your most favourite trip so far?
I guess Lake District.
Yeah,
been around the Lake
definitely.
District?
Last year we
Yeah.
went all around the Lake District, which was nice. Because obviously Tarryn had the van before we met. So it's been. I've always been doing a bit of camping and stuff.
Yeah,
and
yeah, same
this
with
is
us.
like luxury, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking it up to Scotland as well.
Are you down to Scotland as well?
Yeah, yeah. It was really good. It was really good. It's a long drive, but it's worth it.
And it's been very reliable. We've had no issues with it.
No
It's
issues.
Japanese,
at all.
isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's going to be
Yeah.
nice and reliable.
And because I'd never heard of it, because it was so random, just buying it off Facebook, I got some friends to look it over for me. And when they looked at the engine, and they just said Toyotas are such good engines,
Yeah.
you won't have a problem. And it's just sailed through every MOT, but it's an old engine, and it didn't cost the earth. It's a good economical car. So
Yeah,
We
it
were
does
at-
about 30, 38. When we did some trips in it before we went to the Lake District, it was doing about 38 to the gallon, which I
Oh, wow.
which I thought was really good.
What was the van like when you got it? Have you done any sort of modifications to it?
only tiny things. So basically, the lady that I bought it from, she had one of these, and then she liked it so much she decided to convert another one and then sell it on. So she bought the shell as it was over from Japan, and then she took it over to the Isle of Wight, and they put this whole unit in as one conversion in one go. North Star Conversions it was. So it was already done, but there are just little bits that you want to do, you know, to make it easier and stuff like that. So we've only made little tweaks really.
And then I came along and took all that shit out. Tarryn loves a spare box just in case. We've got this just in case, and that's just in case, and
Bear
we
repellent.
can't get in.
So yeah. Dave, how tall are you? 6'2". 6'2". So it's not the tallest of vans. How do you cope with?
Actually, it's not too bad. So if you push the front seats all the way forward, and then lay the seats down, it's fine. I've still got room. My feet go down where there's a gap. There'll be a gap between the two seats. My feet go down there. So
Okay, brilliant. And
I reckon you could probably be all right to about 6'6". Should be fine.
Really? That's good to know. You've got side awning as well, haven't you, that attaches on, so that helps. Obviously getting dressed and things in the morning, because I can imagine that'd be
I think the only downside to the side awning is if you put it up, don't really want to put it up if you're just going for one night, because it's just a bit of a faff.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if it rains or if it's dewy in the morning, it's wet. So you
Yeah,
have to wait for it to dry before you put it in the bag, otherwise you've got to take it home and dry it out.
That's true.
But yeah, we've had it up a few times when we've stayed a little bit longer.
It's
haven't we?
great for camping because you've got a living room, but like where I was saying earlier, when I first saw it on Facebook and I thought, oh, it's a real pokey little van, I'm not interested. Once you get inside it and once you live in it for a bit, it's so convenient, and it's not pokey. There is more space than you realise because everything is really cleverly tucked away into little compartments.
I think the rear
really good.
conversion helps with that as well, doesn't it? And we've obviously got a side conversion in ours, but you lose that space when you first get into the van, as it was. So because you've got the rear conversion, it's almost, it opens up, doesn't it, inside? So yeah, I understand.
Yeah, of course, if it's raining, you can stand under the back.
You've got the
and you can still
tailgate,
cook
yeah,
and stuff as well. So that's quite good.
Okay, guys, just going back to the trips that you've done in the van. Have you talked about any sort of future trips that you want to do, or any dream destinations you want to take the van?
Yeah, definitely.
To?
So when I went to Scotland, I didn't get that far. So it's on my bucket list to do the NC 500 for sure. And we've talked a lot about taking more time, because I'd only got a long weekend. I just about got up there and I had to come back. So,
work gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, maybe 10 days, something like that might be a good time to be able to get all the way around, because it's just so beautiful.
Yeah,
you
if
know,
you watch all the YouTube videos, they seem to be rushing and people miss a lot. So I think you need 10 days minimum.
Up there, isn't it?
On a par with Norway almost. When you see the sights, you know, it's just gorgeous to see. And then we've talked about Wales as well. We'd like to go to Snowdonia. I'd like to show Dave in Brecon, you've got the Four Waterfalls Walk, things like that. It's just the UK.
Yeah,
There's so much
to
beauty.
do Wales this year.
Lovely. What about taking it abroad onto the continent?
You want to go to France, don't you?
That's on my bucket list. Yeah, and I'm not that fussed about driving a lot around France. I just want to give it a go, get over there and see what it's like. Just find some camping just the other side of the ferry, sort of thing. And yeah, just give it a go. Maybe in the next couple of years.
What's one of the things that you pack or take with you on every trip? It's a must. That you don't necessarily keep in the van the whole time, but like chairs.
Definitely these, yeah. I mean, my chair comes to me if I'm watching my son play football. They're just so easy to pack away and so small, compact. They fit in your bag. We could just take them if we're walking. You know, the big chairs, you've got to lump it in its big long bag on your shoulder. Yeah. But these are so easy, and they just fit under one of my seats. I've got a little cupboard, and they just sit in there. So yeah, dead easy.
No, they're really handy. Have you got a van mascot yet?
No.
You have?
Oh, I have. Yeah, so Tallulah.
Tallulah
is my van mascot. You can't see her right now, but she's a little hula lady, and she sits, she's stuck on the dashboard and she wiggles.
I have tried to knock it off several times.
It's stuck up there. You've mentioned about some of the trips you've taken, some of the trips that you want to take. Do you tend to go for like campsites, or do you kind of more wild camping, or do you want to mix it in? And what's your sort of when you're planning a trip?
It depends how long we go for. So if we're just going on a Friday night and we're planning to be back on the Sunday, then a bit of wild camping, we'll choose somewhere, we'll go for a 5-mile walk, get some lunch and what have you. So
Puck for night out.
Yeah.
Does seem a popular app to use. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's not always right though.
No, it doesn't. As we've fallen victim to that a couple of times ourselves. One of my favourite questions. I need an answer from both of you.
Oh, okay.
If you could choose a luxury item to add to the van, it could be absolutely anything.
I've been talking about getting a battery pack because in this one the cooler doesn't have any sort of thermostat on it, so it just runs all the time. So that's great when you're driving along. Yeah. But when you want to leave it in the van, it doesn't turn off, so it draws on the battery all the time, takes the battery right down. So if you've got one of these battery packs where you can actually plug a 3-pin plug into, that would be quite helpful.
I don't know what mine would be now. My problem is that I get online and I start scrolling and I buy everything. I'm a knick-knack person, so I think, I've just picked up.
Have you got little
something.
gadgets and things like?
I keep thinking about pop tops because mine isn't, and you could convert what we've already got as a pop top as opposed to, because as I said about the engines, it's an old car but it runs so well. I don't need a new car, but I could put a pop top on it. Yeah, as I say, I go for the little gadgets, and I've just bought a surround because we're a back conversion. I've just bought a surround for when we're making tea and stuff, so that you don't get the wind coming in. So it's just literally a £5 thing.
Because it blows the gas away from
stop it blowing the gas away.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
For heat away.
But this has got everything we need, so we don't really need any more big.
I guess our thoughts on the pop top are heights of barriers, because like 2.1 meters, this is about 1.8.
Yeah.
And if this that's your problem. Once you put a pop top on,
It does raise it by a
you
couple
might
of
as well
inches.
then
doesn't it?
maybe
Fits
change the van
under
to a bigger van
anything.
because you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
get in the car park. So
This is actually my car. This is
Yeah.
my day,
It's your day car.
This is it. So if I go shopping in shopping centres with low car parks, I can get in. I don't
Yeah.
have a
it
problem
does
anyway.
go under really
Yeah.
well.
So like if we're wild camping or anything like that, barriers and stuff, this is really good for that.
One of the last questions we're going to ask: have you named your van yet?
Yeah.
And was there any?
Oh, let's see if I get it right.
Oh, okay.
Try, see.
Blue-Belle.
Yeah.
Blue-Belle.
Oh.
Ah.
It is.
Is it something to do with the colour?
Yeah, it is.
Of the interior.
And it's a bit of a soppy story, but I'll tell it anyway. So my nan used to say to me about travelling the country. Before you go off travelling the world, enjoy the country that's on your doorstep. And when she passed away, I got some small inheritance, and I decided to buy this in her name,
Yeah,
and for
yeah.
getting around, travelling around and stuff. And she loved Blue-Bells, so yeah, that's where it sort of came from. I sort of
Oh, that's
named
fair.
it in her name a little bit because she loved the Blue-Bells. So it's actually like blue and then hyphen bell because it's beautiful.
Lovely. Oh, thanks,
Soppy,
Sam.
innit?
That is lovely. Have you had any mishaps in the van? Any accidents?
There was one, yeah. So when I talk about convenience, I went to a salsa festival and I was able to park this in the car park of the school where the event was happening, and I stayed
Very
overnight.
convenient.
And it made it really cheap and convenient, and it was great. And there was this one day where I'd done all these dance workshops all day, hadn't stopped for a break, so I thought I'm just going to pop back to the van, have a little nap before the party, which was a Halloween party where we get dressed up, fancy dress, and I needed a snack when I woke up, so I made some soup, convenient again, and sat down with my soup, and I'd got shorts on because it was October, but we'd been doing these workshops, so I'd got little shorts on, and from my seat I reached over to get a bread roll, and as I sat back down I managed to tip the soup all over my bare legs and couldn't get it off.
Ouch.
Didn't have access to running hot water, but I'd got my water tank in the bottom, so I did have sort of tepid water.
Yeah.
Ended up having to go to a hospital with
Oh no.
not quite third-degree burns, but very close. So yeah, that's a lesson I've learned.
And you
about
haven't done
hot
that
soup.
again.
No, never.
You won't ever do that again.
Yeah.
We're going back to Duke this year. We went last year and stayed in the van for the
Mm.
first night, didn't we?
Yeah, because
But
I
yeah.
missed the fancy dress
Yeah.
party. I literally had to go straight, into hospital that at night. Missed the whole lot. So,
Oh no.
mm.
Have you bought any items that you're not too fond of or haven't worked out for you? Any useless?
Fire pit.
So, well, no, because Dave has taken out all my just in case items, you see. So they
That's
don't.
all the rubbish.
They're not allowed in the van anymore. But yeah, I mean, I did buy what I thought was a really useful piece of kit, which is a small fire pit that packs away into a little bag about that big. That is a barbecue as well. Dave's an ex-fireman, and he just can't stand this. He doesn't like fire pits. Can't stand the smell of smoke.
No, I don't like the smell of smoke. Cooked stuff that's been cooked and it's smoke. So on the fire pit, everything stinks of burn.
Yeah.
Where on a barbecue, it's slightly different.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not a lover of it.
So are we keeping the fire pit?
It's
Or-
it's in.
Oh,
in
it
the
is
bag.
actually in the
Yeah,
bag,
it's
He
in the
hasn't
bag.
chucked it out yet.
No,
have
not
you?
yet. I mean, no, and I'm not going to.
Things mysteriously arrive in the bin, and I open the bin when I make a cup of tea. I throw my tea bag in, and I'm like, "What's that in the bin?" And it's like literally something of mine that's useful that I don't even know has got chucked away. So
Guys, thank you very much for talking with us this afternoon in beautiful sunny Devon. We'll hopefully be back soon, and enjoy your next trip away.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Because it's that
Toyota,
reliable.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Touch
Yeah.
wood.
Breaking down. We're
Touch
not
wood.
breaking down. We're not breaking down.
I'm crying.
Anyway, darling, what improvement would you like?
You.
Nobody really talks about van.
Action.
Thank you, Michael.
Oh, did you want a cup of tea? Yeah.
Yes.
the fuel economy. I can't even say the word. Fuel
Economy. Wayne's trying to say fuel economy.
Fuel economy, that's the one.